Is Assassin's Creed Mirage worth playing in 2024 after its recent major update? To be brutally honest, Mirage was a mixed bag when it was released, and although I did mostly praise the game, there were some glaring issues which did hold the game back a lot. However, playing it in 2024 really did surprise me. This video will show you everything you need to know and whether it's the right game for you or not in under 10 minutes. I'm not going to waste your time with a 30-minute breakdown. Let's get straight into this. So first off, the parkour. My initial thoughts on this when the game was first released was kind of mixed. The animations do look quite smooth for the most part, and it looks visually brilliant due to the graphics, but what I didn't like was how slow it felt and clunky. Fans of the older games like me will certainly notice how slow it feels compared to the classics. The parkour was also limited compared to older games in the franchise, and it's a lot more stripped back, which isn't ideal, but this wasn't as noticeable. The main complaint was the speed and how sluggish it felt. So we're about to play the new update on Mirage. I'm excited to see what they've changed here, as it does say they've made some improvements to the parkour. Also got a new game plus, which is good to see as well. I don't know if it's just all in my head, but it does feel a lot faster. Surprisingly, it looks like they've sped it up, which it really did need doing. It is massively slower compared to the old games, but yeah, I mean, it's actually been improved, I think. I mean, before, it felt like your nan was going for a morning run with skid marks in her pants. That's how slow it felt when running about and doing parkour. But now it has improved, I think. So to my surprise, playing this again in 2024, the parkour has been changed and it feels a lot faster thanks to the recent update. I was actually quite shocked to see this even be addressed, so I give massive credit to Ubisoft for doing this. Yes, it's still not perfect, and you will prefer the parkour in the older games if you had to choose, but it's still a big improvement. I feel the game does flow a lot better now. The occasional bug still happens that ruins your epic parkour run and makes yourself look like an absolute donkey, and sometimes you will find yourself being forced into a direction you didn't want to go in. But to be straight with you, it's still been improved a lot since release, and it does feel a lot less clunky overall. And from my experience, tell me if I'm wrong here, the best parkour we've ever seen was in Assassin's Creed Unity. It was bloody amazing in that game. There were so many different animations, and the freedom you had when traversing was incredible. I don't think it's been topped since that game. So sadly, we aren't to that level just yet. The graphics and setting. So I saw a lot of comments here on YouTube stating how the game didn't even look that good. For those people saying that, what I'm going to do is book you an appointment with Specsavers ASAP. If you think this game doesn't look good visually, you must be the son of Daredevil. I have recorded this video in 4K, so hopefully I can prove to the few haters that it does in fact look amazing, especially in 4K. The new update has made some minor graphical improvements, but to me, this wasn't even really needed, and the graphics were one of the game's strongest points. And as for the setting, it does feel alive and lived in, and as you explore the decently sized map of Baghdad, some people did complain that it wasn't big enough. I think it's an ideal size, and you wouldn't really benefit from it being bigger. I would rather a smaller, dense and highly detailed map over a huge empty one any day of the week. So the size of the map isn't really a problem. You won't be disappointed with the graphics or the setting in this game, that is for certain. Combat. So I'm going to be brutally honest. After playing this game a lot since my last video, I've changed my mind on combat. It's actually quite bad. Definitely below average for an AC game. I am going to make a full breakdown video to explain all my reasons why very soon. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. In a nutshell, it's very clunky and basic. One button will roll you out the way of an attack, and one button allows you to parry and counter. That's about it. Animations during sword fights do kinda look a bit ugly, and your gadgets are quite useless most of the time. The only one I'd use is the throwing knives. All the others are utter dog and can be forgotten about. Also, there isn't enough animations when assassinating people or when you're in combat. You end up seeing these same animations play out over and over again. Compared to the rest of the game, combat is lackluster, and I just recommend using stealth throughout the entire game, as this is the most fun way to play. But you have to be prepared to see these same few assassination animations play out several times. You're going to know them off by heart after a while. The new Merc multiple enemies at once feature is also quite cool, but I do feel a lot of people don't like it as it feels unrealistic and a bit out of place. But I still enjoyed using it though. The story. This aspect is also a bit hit or miss, and don't worry, I won't be discussing any spoilers. So in my last video, I hadn't finished the game yet, so I didn't really dive into the big problem with the story, which essentially is the ending. Without spoiling it, if you haven't played the recent few AC games, you aren't going to have a damn clue what happens at the end of this one. I feel like a lot of people would have not played the last few games, as this is the first AC game to be marketed as back to its roots. Therefore, all the original fans of the series like me are picking up this game after not playing the last few. And what is funny, even people who have played the last few games still did not have a damn clue what the hell the ending was all about. It was quite badly executed and tried to be too smart. It should have just been a brand new story, not linked with any other AC games. At least the actual story missions are enticing enough and are definitely worth playing, but don't expect a perfectly executed story. This game's all about the gameplay. Should you play Assassin's Creed Mirage in 2024? In all honesty, whether you are a fan of the original AC franchise like me, or do prefer the newer AC format, I 100% recommend playing Mirage. Despite its flaws, it's still very enjoyable. It's not a 100% back to its roots AC experience, but it does enough to make fans of the original franchise pick it up and enjoy the hell out of it. I do really hope they build upon it and work on the parkour and combat aspects in the future. In a perfect world, I would love the parkour and combat from AC Unity, but on steroids, along with a well executed story like in AC2, but with the graphics of Mirage. I think we just need another character like Ezio again, that can carry the game and make the story more interesting to play. Since those days, the story has always been a bit average. Perfecting the combat and parkour just won't be enough. They have to get the story right too, and I know they can do it because they've done it in the past. But do comment below your thoughts on Mirage, I would love to see them, and what would your ideal Assassin's Creed game look like? I would love to know. And if you would like to see my brutal, honest opinion on Starfield in 2024 and whether you should play it or not, make sure to click the card on screen to check out that video. You don't want to miss it, that's for damn sure. Thank you guys for watching as always, and have a great rest of your day.